Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. That's right everybody, time for the weekly comic book review. It's a show where I read a lot of comic books and I let you know what I thought about them, and we always start with the pick of the week. This week's pick of the week, Batman number 34. Okay, Batman number 34 is seriously the pick of the week. This book was awesome. This book was perfectly paced, expertly crafted as far as dialogue goes, majestic as far as artwork goes, really cool, really clean, really fresh, and I really liked it. Now, if you follow this video series, you know I'm a huge Tom King fan. You know I'm up and down on his Batman run, mostly down, but there have been issues here and there that really impress me and even make the pick of the week. This is one of them. I think I'm starting to turn this corner on Batman. I think I'm either finally getting into the groove that Tom King has set for Batman, or that Tom King himself is finally getting into the groove. But this stuff was really cool. So the cat is out of the bag. No pun intended. Batman is marrying Catwoman. And so Batman thinks it's a good idea to go tell Talia that in person with Catwoman. Bad idea, Bruce. Hijinks ensue. Really cool issue. Great artwork by Joe Lee Jones. Amazing script by Tom King. Seriously, the repetition that he's been using in Batman that's kind of worn a little thin on me. The whole bat and cat thing. It's still in there, but not quite. Not at all. And it's very rhythmic, and it's just... This was a very impressive issue of Batman, and I'm not even lying. Number 34, pick of the week right there. Seriously, really good stuff. I really would love to see more like that in the future. And as far as the whole Batman marrying Catwoman thing goes, right? It's not up to me if that's the way that DC and Tom King and company decide to take the story. But personally, I'm not a big fan of that move. I don't think it really makes too much sense, at least just not from my perspective on the character of Batman. I think Tom's doing a really good job on the reaction of all of the Robins. But I think that Tom definitely has a long-term plan here, and I don't think he's just going to do something like this just for the hijinks of it. I think that there's some serious weight and meat to come to this story, and so we shall see. Let's move on. Dark Knight's metal tie-in, Batman the Devastator. So last week, Merciless came out, right? And I was like, this is probably my favorite one to date. Well, no, it might just be Devastator. This one was so fun, so just preposterously awesome. This book was amazing. Plotted by Frank Thierry, scripted by James Tynion IV, artwork by Tony Daniel. Really good, solid artwork from Tony Daniel. Some of his best stuff in recent years. Absolutely loved this book. The most appealing out of all the dark, twisted Batmans to me so far. Of course, outside of the Batman Who Laughs, because the whole Batman Joker mystery thing is really crazy, but great artwork, big, giant, explosive type stuff. Lobo is Slobo compared to the Devastator. This is seriously the most high-octane, crazy, giant, explosive comic book of the week. Loved it so much. I've been loving these metal tie-ins, and Devastator's just crazy. Bats Out of Hell Part 2 arrives in Justice League, number 32. So this is like a crossover between Hal Jordan, Flash, and Justice League. The Justice League have left. They're off on their own searches. They are now being confronted by their own dark, twisted versions of Batman. Red Death versus Flash, the Drowned versus Aquaman, the Merciless versus Wonder Woman, and of course, Dawnbreaker and Green Lantern, right? Really cool stuff. Great artwork by Liam Sharp. Detailed, textured, complex, really cool stuff. A fun script by Robert Venditti, I believe, right? Yeah, and just really neat. It's fun stuff. I love this Bats Out of Hell story so much more than I did the Gotham Resistance. I really did not like that one. Really liking this one. Plus you got the connecting cover by Ethan Van Sciver, so I guess that's cool, right? Batman White Knight number 2 from Sean Murphy and colorist Matt Hollingsworth. Loved this issue. Really cool issue. They do a neat, interesting thing with Harley Quinn in this book that I really just kind of enjoyed. I thought it was a really cool kind of bait and switch that Murphy did. Murphy's pulling a lot of ideas from the animated series, and it is appropriate that he has a more animated series influenced Harley Quinn, and that's what, to me, I don't really like Harley Quinn, but the most tolerable Harley Quinn to me is from the animated series. And those very, very first days when she first joined the DCU back in like 99 during No Man's Land and all that stuff. But really great artwork, a really cool story in a alternate reality type thing where the Joker has basically cured himself and he becomes Gotham's White Knight and goes out on a mission to expose the corruption in Gotham and in the city and the police department and Batman himself. Sean Murphy and them said that this is going to be the Joker Harley story, love story that you guys always wanted. And seriously, I didn't even know I wanted a good Harley Joker love story, but Sean Murphy's doing a great job on this book. I absolutely love it. Also, cover of the week right there. Amazing, cool, detailed, complex, scritchy, scratchy, but every single line has a purpose, and I love it so much. Black Lightning returns. His own miniseries, Cold Dead Hands #1, from original creator of Black Lightning, Tony Isabella. So that's really cool to see Isabella come back to the character that he created. We got artwork by Clayton Henry. The artwork is really cool. I thought it was very dynamic. Coloring was really, really good. Who was the colorist there? Pete Pantazis. Really great coloring, very bright, very flamboyant, high energy, like I said, dynamic, great flow through the story. It harkens back to a lot of the old school Black Lightning stuff, so fans of Black Lightning from back in the day will like it, but I think new fans can jump right in. It's got a CW show about to come out. Black Lightning's a great character. Maybe goes a little bit too far with the teacher metaphors and analogies. We get it. You know, Jefferson's a teacher, yeah. But all in all, pretty solid. Fans of Black Lightning, I don't think you're going to be too disappointed. Deadman fans, though, I think we're going to be disappointed. Deadman #1 from Neil Adams, a brand new 6-issue series. The coolest thing about this is the cover. It's a glow-in-the-dark cover, so it's got like embossed and it's glow-in-the-dark. They turn into skeletons and stuff. I get too many lights in here. I can't really show it to you. Really cool cover, not a cool book. The story is just all over the place, confusing. It kind of picks up on old threads. It throws you right in. It's weird, it's chaotic, but it doesn't really seem to work or be cohesive. However, the artwork is extraordinary, especially for Neil Adams in his current, with his current work. Artwork is very solid. Neil Adams colors the book himself. Neil Adams is a legend in this industry. So Neil Adams fans, hardcore, definitely want to check it out for the artwork. Really cool stuff as far as that goes. The story was just a little too much for me right there. Superman 34, which is kind of issue 800, and DC didn't make a big deal out of it. So you got this variant cover, which, you know, Tony Daniel did. It's got the 800 in the background. Issue 34 is still $2.99, still just the next part of the story, second part of Imperious Lex, and it was all right. It's kind of clunky because it's got 3 different artists. Now, the 3 different artists are decent artists in and of their own rights, but they have clashing styles, and then they do kind of have its thread throughout there, so a different artist follows a different story, but it didn't really feel it didn't really come together that much for me. The Superman books have got some stepping up to do, as in my opinion. And we got Action Comics 1000 coming up. I really did like the direction the books were taking post-Rebirth, but now it seems to have slowed up. Let's hope we can get back on track. I hoped that this Imperious Lex story would definitely get back on track, and it has a little bit as far as story goes, but I'm really missing Gleason on the artwork especially, or just maybe even Doug Mahnke on the artwork. Like, those 2 guys alone should be doing these books. Maybe go back to monthly if that's what it takes, but like a good, consistent, solid art team on this book would do wonders for it. Absolutely. Green Lanterns #34, 2nd issue by Tim Seeley. 2nd issue I read and enjoyed. Absolutely. More of a space-oriented tale, which we are not used to from Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz. The previous 2 years basically being confined to Earth, but now they're out exploring space, doing giant, crazy space operatic Green Lantern type things, and it's cool. The characters still ring true in Seeley's hands. The artwork is extremely capable. I really like Green Lanterns. Those are great characters, and still a very top-notch book. Absolutely. Also from DC, we have this Jetsons book. Now, I don't read too much of those Hanna-Barbera things coming out. I'm really, really pumped, though, for the Snagglepuss Chronicles. That looks really, really cool. I hear good things about Flintstones. I hear good things about Future Quest, but they've never really grabbed me that much. I like the old cartoons from when I was a kid, obviously, watching the reruns, but Jetsons was something I watched a lot back when I was a kid. They reran it, maybe, I don't know if it was on TBS or something, but it was like before school. I watched it. So I watched more of the Jetsons than the Flintstones, and I liked the Flintstones less than the Jetsons. I was more of a Jetsons fan. Remember the movie when they met? Anyway, what does that have to do with the comic book? This comic book was actually really, really good. I actually really did like it. It's a bit exposition-y at time, but it's a really cool, updated, more grounded and realistic, if that makes sense, in a science fiction type setting take on the story. I thought it was a really cool, modernized. I mean, it's set in the future still. There's some stuff in here about just kind of a warning about where the planet could go, and like how they explain how the world became where it was. Because if you remember on the Jetsons, everything was water pretty much, and they lived up in the clouds. What was the reasoning for that? But other than that, like really cool themes are put throughout this book. Like Rosie is now basically George's mother, who has decided to end her life because she was dying, and now she's in this robot. She's their maid. Really interesting things. The characters are well fleshed out. Like I said, it gets a little verbose in its exposition at times. Jimmy Palmiotti, though, did a really, really great job of reinventing the Jetsons franchise for a modern audience. Really cool. Pierre Brito, do good artwork, great colors. Really I actually was impressed with this. It's a 6-issue series. I wasn't expecting to like it that much, though the little one-shot we got and those little crossovers was appealing. But Jetsons, I actually like the Jetsons. So for Marvel Comics, Captain America 695, big anticipated issue. A lot of people upset with the direction Marvel has taken with Captain America, especially the Captain Nazi, right? You know, nobody really liked Secret Empire. Thought the book really didn't work that well myself. But Captain America's back to his former glory, or basically the save point Cap, because Cap really did all that heinous stuff in Secret Empire, and at first it seemed justified, at least in his mind. Then we find out, no, he's just twisted and evil and whatever. I think it was kind of a lazy wrap-up there to Secret Empire. This is basically not the Captain America we've been reading for a long time, but I ain't gonna let that bother me. It's the Cap people are wanting to see. So I read it. What I think? Mark Waid, Chris Samney, I thought it was pretty awesome. Absolutely. Mark Waid has written some great Captain America stories in the past, with Ron Garney, Andy Kubert. Great stuff. Operation Rebirth, Man Without a Country, To Serve and Protect. Really good writer on Captain America with some seminal runs there, and the feel was right there the whole time for me. Chris Samney's artwork is amazing. If you've liked their work on Daredevil, if you like their work on Black Widow, you'll definitely like this book. It's a little preachy at times because that's what Captain America books are like. The action, the graphic design, the layouts, everything is just really cool. I really liked it. It's a typical Captain America story, and I think that's what people are wanting. So there you go. I think you guys are going to like that. Avengers 673. I really liked the last issue of Avengers. It crossed over into Champions. Didn't like that issue. Back to Avengers. I really like it. I don't understand. Same writer, different artist, of course, on all 3 issues, but I'm liking the Avengers more than the Champions right now. And it shouldn't have anything to do with the characters. Maybe it's just the story. First of all, High Evolutionary, one of my favorite Marvel characters. Seriously, when I was coming up, really getting into comics for the first time, like I've been in comics for a long time, but when I really was able to like start saving up, like, you know, lunch money change and mowing lawns and stuff like that, the High Evolutionary War was going on. I bought like all of those crossovers, and I've loved this character ever since. So I'm really excited about this. Plus, I love a good story about Counter-Earth. Absolutely. Seriously, no matter how big of a misstep it may have been, Heroes Reborn is another one of my favorite times in Marvel Comics. And I'm not even lying. I'm not even kidding, guys. Yeah, I don't care. Comment down below. Tell me I'm wrong because, you know, they weren't good. But it was fun. And growing up a hardcore Fantastic Four fan, it was really nice to see people talking about the Fantastic Four, and of course buying it because sales went through the roof on Heroes Reborn. Power Pack number 63. I'm not defending the stories though. I mean, it's 90s extreme garbage kind of, but I mean, I don't know. It was a cool feeling to have everybody talking about the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. It was really neat. 63, right? Yeah, 63 Power Pack. I read Power Pack a little bit when I was a kid. It wasn't really, it was like too kiddie for me or whatever. Power Pack fans, you're going to really like this. But seriously, writer Devin Grayson and the artist Marika Krista and colorist Chris O'Halloran, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite colorists in the business right now. If they wanted to give you guys a Power Pack book, I would say go for it because I would read it. This was actually really fun. It's very nostalgic, I'm sure, for Power Pack fans. I mean, everybody read Power Pack during Mutant Massacre, though, right? Seriously. But this was fun. It was all right. It was a good little one-shot. These are all little one-shots. They're doing, like, Silver Sable. They're doing Darkhawk. These are basically, like, pilots. So if you like it at the end, they tell you, like, write in and let us know that you liked it. Maybe we'll bring it back. But seriously, if you guys ever wanted Marvel to do a Power Pack book, Grayson, Krista, and O'Halloran, that's your team right there. Absolutely. Plus little appearance by the Fantastic Four, however brief and meaningless. But it was always exciting for me, right? Restore the Four. There we go. Old Man Logan, number 30. This book has been great. Jeff Lemire did a really good job on it. But Ed Brisson is doing a better job. He really, really is. It's got the action that you want from a Wolverine story. It's got the pathos that you want from a Wolverine story, or pathos, or whatever. I really like it. I think it's really good. You got Maestro versus Wolverine in this, seriously. Old Man Logan versus Old Man Hulk. Really crazy stuff. Mike Deodato Jr. Turning in the best work of his career with this issue, with this last arc of Old Man Logan. This finishes up this Brisson's first story arc. Really cool stuff. But now, of course, now we have more Hulks. And that's still kind of a problem, I think. Too many Hulks. Astonishing X-Men number 5, right? Number 5, Life of X number 5. Basically a story maybe setting up the return of Charles Xavier. Lots of Xavier in here. Really cool. My only problem with Astonishing X-Men, because I think it is the X-Men, I think it might be the best X-Men book right now, or it's attempting to be. The Gambit stuff in here is cool. The Gambit stuff in here is cool, and I really typically don't like Gambit. But my biggest problem with this book is that each issue was done by a different superstar artist with a very different style from whoever came before. And it makes it seem a little inconsistent. This one, though, Ramon Rosanas. Not super familiar with this work, but I really, really liked it. And this would be my pick, maybe, out of everybody that's came so far, to be the ongoing regular penciler. I just thought the layouts were great. The coloring was amazing. Who was that? Woodard? The coloring by Woodard was really, really sharp. I really liked it. Nolan Woodard. Yeah. And I just thought that the presentation and the way that Charles Soule tells the story was really neat and nifty. I like this team. I like these characters. I like this story. It's going on a little long, and it's a little jump back and forth because of the art. But so far, this has been a very impressive issue. Now, issue number 1 by Jim Cheung was brilliantly amazing. But seriously, Rosanas, that's someone to watch. I really was impressed with that artwork, absolutely, with the flow of the story, how he told the story, how it was laid out, the flow of it, the pacing. Really good decisions in that one. Darth Vader number 7. This book's been fun. I don't watch Rebels, so I don't really know who the Inquisitors are, but apparently Darth Vader is making punks out of them, and that's awesome for me. You can't really go wrong with a Darth Vader book as long as you keep them BA and not too whiny and mopey, and that's what they've done, Marvel, with the Darth Vader book so far. That first one by Gillen, now this one by Soule, who did the Astonishing X-Men. Really great stuff. Kamikoli's artwork, I love it. I'm sold on the Vader book, guys. I really like it. And I don't even know who these new characters are. I don't even watch Rebels, but I really have been wanting to. So maybe I will, to get a little bit more into them. But really interesting, cool stuff. I liked it, absolutely. Let's go into some of the other publishers. Image gave us Gravediggers Union number 1, written by Wes Craig, who is the artist on Deadly Class, so that's exciting and cool. Toby Cypress did the artwork, though Wes Craig does the first 5 or 6 pages, and the first 5 or 6 pages blew me away. I loved it. Creepy, scary, neat, cool stuff. Then the rest of the book I thought was okay. It was all right. Kind of like a blue-collar supernatural cleanup team. Think like Hellboy and BPRD, but they're actually just human. So it's the BPRD with no Hellboy or Ape Sapien or whatever, but the opening of this was so strong that the rest of it, as okay as it was, just didn't quite flow with me as much as I wanted it to. Didn't really grab me with anything. So, but those first few pages were so amazing. Number 1 with the Bullet arrives from Image Comics this week, from some creators. Jacob Simon, Jorge Corona, Jen Hickman is the colorist, Steve Wan's the letterer, Aaron Levy the editor. There's some interesting stuff that they're talking about in here relating to modern day social media and assault and harassment and how online and that, like, your online persona can, like, in that invites some of that stuff and how to deal with it, and it speaks on some of those things. Unfortunately, I don't think its message is very clear because it's a very, to me, muddled, muddy script. I didn't really like it. I couldn't follow it. It didn't really flow so well. Interesting artwork. Interesting artwork. I really did like the artwork from Corona, but the story, the pacing, the way it was just told, it didn't grab me. It really did kind of confuse me. I found it hard to follow, even though it had a cool concept. I can't justify coming back for issue 2. Paper Girls number 17. One of the best comic books out today. Absolutely. Stranger Things 2 is out, by the way. We're going to do a review, me and John, soon, one day, I'm sure. Quick review. I loved it. I thought it was great. If you like Stranger Things, read Paper Girls. It's really cool, kind of in the same vein, but not really. This thing is even crazier and stranger than Stranger Things. Paper Girls is a crazy, wild time travel story. Cool sci-fi, great characters from the 80s. Now they are all over the place through time. Really cool stuff. This issue explains a lot. It really, really does. But if you haven't been reading it, don't just pick up this issue. Get the first trade. I'll throw a link down below. Paper Girls is amazing. You need to read it. Brian K. Vaughan doing it. Cliff Chang on the art. Amazing stuff. Matt Wilson colors, right? Yeah. Great book all the way around. Also another great book, Elsewhere, from writer Jay Farber. Jay Farber and artist Sume Kesgin and Ron Riley doing the coloring. Ron Riley on Copperhead, another Jay Farber book that I absolutely love. If you like Copperhead, you'll like Elsewhere. It's Amelia Earhart. Where does she go? She went to some crazy fantasy land. These are her adventures. It's fun, it's crisp, it's brisk. It's got a great pace to it. It flows, it's energetic, it's dynamic, it moves, it's speedy. It's just a fun, greatly paced comic book. This is the kind of stuff I love. Some twists in here, interesting stuff. I'm sold. Elsewhere is great. Make a great TV show, wouldn't it? Absolutely. And final book I want to highlight. My own friend Lance Allen, L.W. Allen, has a studio here in my area. Dance Panda Comics. He just released his next issue of Imadre. He's releasing these physical copies with 2 chapters, see, and they're flip books. So that's chapter 3, chapter 4. So basically issue 1 was chapters 1 and 2. Issue 2 is chapters 3 and 4. I don't know if he wants me to call this issue 2 or if he just wants me to call this chapters 3 and 4, but chapters 3 and 4 are here. I love it. Think it's so great. I've worked with Lance on a project before called Black Speck. Same artist from Black Speck, Claudio Munoz, does the artwork on Imadre. Really cool stuff. Different, more adult. Black Speck, of course, is an all-ages tale. This is definitely not all ages, but it's really cool. I think Claudio's artwork is really cool. I like his own inking. It's a very gritty, dark style. I think Lance's colors are getting better and better. Great choices on the lettering. I love this book. I'm going to throw some links down below so you can check out Imadre, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Help support local comic book artists, independent comic book creators. Like I said, Lance Allen from my area down here. Claudio is down in Chile, I believe, in South America. Support these guys and their work. They're doing great stuff. Links down below. And seriously, guys, from me, you guys are getting better and better. Keep on keeping on and trucking. So that's what I read this week. That's what I thought about it. What did you read? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for checking out the video. And I want to give a shout out to David Hatch, our very first Patreon supporter and still a Patreon supporter. Thank you so much. We love you, David. You're the best. That's your shout out for this month. And just because you're an awesome guy, I'd give you a shout out anyway. In fact, holler, David. Thank you so much. Don't forget, guys, you can also join in on patreon.com/PCP. Help support this channel and what we do if you're so inclined to do so. If not, then hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for rocking with us. Keep on reading.